And away we go. It is the Nightcap, brought to you by Galactic Fried Chicken, right here on BearcatJournal.com. As always, visit our good friends at www.galacticfriedchicken.com. Download the app for Android, iPhone, everything Galactic. Use the app to have it delivered straight to your front door, pretty much anywhere inside the 275 loop. Or get down to Dayton, Kentucky, Wednesday through Sunday, lunch and dinner. Time to pump it up. Save yourself 15% off that delicious Galactic Fried Chicken goodness. Hi, Aaron.
I just want to say that it is grilling season. Grilling season is upon us.
Okay.
And the Galactic sauce makes an excellent topper for brats, for burgers, I've used it as a marinade for chicken.
Chicken, pork.
Just saying, it's a good one.
I know from I've been spreading the love at the hospital as we go through. We're in ICU. We're back on the 14th floor. We're in ICU. We're back on the 14th floor. I bring it regularly, and everybody that has it is like, the chicken is great, but what the is that sauce? Like, where did that come from? What is that? And that's like, that's a Chipotle honey mustard. It's like, that's good stuff. And they're like, can I get it there?
Yes.
Like, can I get it? Like, yeah, you can get a bottle. It's like $5. It's good. Go get you some. And then they all tell me within like the next 2 or 3 days, I went down to Galactic and that place is awesome. So you should be like the nurses at Good Sam Hospital. You can go get yourself some Galactic fried chicken.
All right. So what are we talking tonight?
There's one major news story of the day.
Oh, what's that?
Landers Nolley, as expected, has declared for the NBA draft. As he posted on his social media feeds, he is maintaining his eligibility. He will be able to come back to Cincinnati if he so desires. This is what I have been talking about for several weeks on Bearcat Journal, that he would test the waters, that there's a real possibility that, you know, he ends up deciding, I'm going to be a pro. There's also a real possibility that he ends up deciding the best thing for me is coming back and playing another year at Cincinnati. So we're in a window of uncertainty with Landers.
And sorry, backwards, it was bothering me.
I know. But it was like that when we got in here.
I know. I'm out of my.
I was wondering if you were planning on.
I'm at my mom's. Everything's backwards. I don't.
You're like, this looks right.
I know. I got a text in the middle of the podcast that my power's back on. I'm heading home tomorrow. That's what I know.
If you didn't watch the podcast, Nico Palizzetti is our new best friend.
Sorry to interrupt, derail the train.
I know. But Nico Palizzetti is our new best friend.
Yeah,
he was awesome.
Loved it.
He was awesome. Maybe, do you think there's a way we could have Nico and Brady on the same show?
I don't know if Brady would come back or not.
I think he would. Like, he loves us enough. I think he would come back if he knew he was hanging out with Nico.
It'd have to be like in the no one's on campus off season.
You know what we would do? Like, they've got that new format thing now. We would put them in the main screen and then just put like all of us up off in the corner. Like in a little side window, and we would just let those two tell stories about how they chased each other around the country in different.
There was not each other; it was one chasing the other.
Yeah, but you know. Anyhow, so Landers Nolley is testing the waters of the NBA, testing the waters of playing professional basketball. This is what happens when you have a first-team all-conference player that had the type of season that Landers did, especially the way he shot the ball and how, you know, gifted he showed that he was as a shooter off the bounce, off the catch, off the pump fake, off of pick and roll, like in almost all of the different ways that you can make jump shots, he made jump shots. And that makes you an attractive professional in today's game.
Correct. Yeah. I mean, that's everything is threes. I mean, that's
threes
the NBA.
Layups, man.
It's the NBA.
Yeah.
So yeah, I wouldn't be at all surprised if he ended up on a two-way deal. I wouldn't be. He's young enough. I mean, he's not super.
Pretty old
He's not
for the
super.
NBA. He's pretty old.
He's not super old, but he also has a pretty pure shot. I mean,
Yeah.
shoot or shoot. So I don't know. It would be. I wouldn't be completely caught off guard if he ends up. I'd be surprised if he got drafted. I guess.
Yeah, I don't think being drafted is as critical as it once was to getting paid because of the two-way deal,
Correct.
which now essentially guarantees you $500,000.
Well, because they have to make it more incentivizing than staying in college and making money in
or
college.
going to Europe. Like where they were getting
Yeah.
hurt was a lot of these guys that had NBA talent went to Europe and then just kind of got lost in the system in Europe, and they weren't playing in the G League because the G League wasn't paying any money.
Like SK.
Right. So they were going to Europe and playing in Europe and getting paid over there, and a lot of them building very good lives because of the way that those contracts are done, where
SK, Octavius Ellis, Coriante DeBerry,
Troy.
Yeah.
They've all had very, very strong careers in Europe because that's just the easiest route.
Or Israel or wherever else you play over there.
I mean, it's all Europe. To me, it's Europe.
I get it. But
it's all Europe.
I mean, some of it's Eurasia.
Right. But it's, that's
Turkey.
Yeah. I think those are still Europe. Aren't they?
I don't. It's in that weird Eurasia spot. I don't know.
Istanbul was Constantinople.
Look, it's not as simple as here's North America, here's South America. It's here's this glob, and you have to figure out where we've had wars to.
Here's the line. Well, here's the wall.
They knocked that one down, bro.
I was talking about North America, South America.
Even worse.
North America, Latin America, Mexico. Here's the wall.
Stop it.
I'm sorry. The podcast tonight rubbed on me a little bit with one of the funniest stories we've ever had told on these airwaves. If you know, you know. If you know, you know. But look, Landers has a young child. Like and he's entering that phase of like it's time to be a grown ass man and not be in college. Now, it's different now than it ever used to be because you can be a grown ass man in college cashing a 6-figure check.
Correct.
With a crooked number instead of a straight number. Like
correct.
That part of it is different. But he's going to have decisions to make. And that's why I've been trying to prepare people on the message board and on these podcasts for it's not going to be an easy decision. Is there a very visible world where he stays at Cincinnati? Yes. Is there also a very visible world where he's like, I'm 25 or what? 24, 25, however old he is.
I'll find out.
But there's also a very visible world where it's like, I got to start being a man, start taking care of my business, start taking care of my kid, and start doing things that don't involve just hanging out on a college campus for another year.
Currently 23.
When's his birthday? Okay. But that's what I mean by 24, 25 is next year when he comes back. And at 24,
he turned 20. He turned 23 22 days ago.
Okay. So he'll be 23 through most of next season. He's actually a little younger than I thought. I thought he was a year older. So it does make some sense that, hey, come back, maybe get my master's, maybe pocket a pretty good chunk of change of NIL money, and then go off on my journey in professional basketball next year, or do I talk to some people that are like, hey, you start meeting with some teams, and we're interested on a two-way deal, and we like your shooting and your size, and we think you can be like a 3-and-D kind of guy in the NBA. That's gonna all evolve over the next 2 months, 2 months. And that's why I think the important part here is that's why I never like take one side or the other as we go into these meetings. Because what happens in these meetings is what sets the course for things. There was thoughts around the program for a long time. The Landers will be back. No big deal. And then as they came down the stretch of the season, and the season grinds on you, and you're in that, those dog days getting into February and March, and then the conference tournament, and then you get booted from the conference tournament. You have to play in the NIT. You don't get the week off of spring break that you're maybe anticipating. You got to go play in Orem, Utah. Like, there's some agitation that's natural. Where it's like, you know what? Maybe I don't want to do this anymore. And then there's a couple days, a week, and everybody calms down, and they sit down and they have these conversations at the end of the season. It's why you don't have the exit meetings, the day after your season ends, because emotions still run high.
Weird.
Yeah. And you have them 6-7 days. You give everybody a chance to decompress, and then everybody sits down and talks, and you lay things out on the table, and things become real at that point in time. And I think that's important because fans want a video game, Aaron. We've talked about this. Fans want to hit X or square to determine the future of the program, and however long it takes to press and hold that button to skip to the next cutscene.
Trade. That's
not how real life works. You don't when are the meetings happening? When are the meetings going to be over? They're going to be over very soon. It's in everybody's best interest to have these meetings happen, get them over, and figure out where things are at.
Well, and I mean, the Final Four is still yet to be played. It's not like
the season is still happening.
It's not like we're past the end of, the championship banner is being printed, and the caps are being worn, and the one shining moment's been sung. Like, we're not there yet. Everything will be fine. Like, we're getting there.
Nobody has any appreciation for the process anymore, Aaron. They want the answer.
Well, that's because Philadelphia messed it up for everybody when they kept saying trust the process, and man,
that went horribly wrong. No, trust the process. Never again.
I'm good
on the process. Yeah.
The point guard you brought in can't shoot.
So Landers has declared there will be more news in the days and weeks to come. Plenty more news in the days and weeks to come. Most of that will be discussed heavily on Bearcat Journal. When there is confirmed, verifiable news, we will we'll also discuss it here on the Nightcap. Sorry.
Yeah, once it's all over Twitter and everything.
Yeah, we'll discuss all those things here. If you're looking for the early stuff, the inside stuff, that stuff will happen on Bearcat Journal. And then as everything, whatever becomes public, we'll discuss it here. That's just kind of how we're going to handle this cycle. It's often a toss-up on what we're going to do, but that's how we're going to do things for now. So there you go, Aaron. Have a safe trip back to Athens tomorrow. Oh, we froze.
No, I'm here. I'm excited.
No, you froze.
Oh, well.
You froze.
I'm not hardwired in like I am at the... Get us.
Max Headroom, thank you. We'll see you tomorrow night. And the Nightcap on BearcatJournal.com, brought to you by Galactic.
See ya!